Hello guys, I'm here in this weight room, here today with Coach Schoonover on my left and Coach Howard on my right. We are kind of doing an assistant coaches panel with 2 weeks left until August 1st. I figured it's a good time to come out here. Both of these teams have been working hard on the field these past couple weeks. I know I've interviewed Coach Waits last week. Recapping the 7-on-7s, how you guys progressed throughout the winter and then going into the summer. I'd like to start by talking to you, Coach Howard. Talking with Coach Waits, he talks about how you are the primarily strength and conditioning coach. You have led this effort all throughout the winter and going into the season. So what's it like?
This particular season has been really challenging. Probably one of the hardest off seasons we've had, just logistically getting everything planned. From not knowing who our head coach was going to be for a few months there, I started the weight room back up, must have been into December and into January, while the interview processes were still rolling for the head coaching position. So that can be tough just in and of itself, but I think the character of our team really showed through in those early months and weeks where guys who maybe were unsure of what the future of the program looked like after Coach Shaw resigned still continued to show up. So we had good attendance through the winter. Really, we maxed out maybe somewhere between 60 and 65 guys on a good day, which is awesome for this day and age. And then with the rec center getting shut down for improvements to the roof and the HVAC, we got forced into this smaller weight room, and our kids have done a great job of adjusting and just trying to be coachable on the fly, meaning they are able to do stuff really, really quick, take coaching points once or twice, and make an adaptation from there. So.
And then you mentioned this weight room. I kind of mentioned it with Coach Gleason last night, how most of these teams are competing to be in this weight room. So what was it like to force yourself to have to compete with, and Coach Schoonover, if you want to tap in as well, you absolutely can. What was it like to kind of compete for this weight room?
So the one thing I'll say is we were very fortunate in cooperation from other head coaches. When you have as many guys on the football team, in comparison to other sports as we do, it can be really, really tough to plan out squeezing that many people in a smaller space. I know one thing right off the bat, and we're really, really grateful. We know like the volleyball program, we had a scheduling conflict, and we're super grateful for that team and those coaches for helping adapt their schedule to kind of help us out a little bit. So that really, really helped tremendously. Other than that, it hasn't been too bad. Soccer's been, I think, a little bit more afternoon, evening based, so that's kind of helped us out. And we've been able to sneak in here 3-4 days a week from about 10 to 10:45 this summer. And get most of what we want done. It's just a very different space than what we're used to. So.
Absolutely. Coach Schoonover, anything to add?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing when we came in here is the efficiency. Now we can't have those hour-and-a-half workouts that we were having in the rec center, right? We have to get in here and create workouts not for just 3 guys moving at one time, but the whole group moving. So we have five guys moving, whether it's a stretch, whether it's an active recovery, whether it's the main workout, auxiliary workouts. The efficiency in here has been unreal. So that's how we can get so much done within 45 minutes.
And this is another question for the both of you guys. So going all throughout these off-season weight room workouts, kind of recap, how has this team progressed?
So I've been actually really, really pleased considering all the hurdles we've had to jump over, the way that our team has improved. I think a lot of our guys have really found their niche and found their groove. They've done a good job of building up some size. But in the 21st century, the game of football isn't all about getting as big and bulky as possible. You want to get strong, but you want to be explosive and remain a good athlete when you're out there on the field. So we've done a good job. I'm super grateful that Scooney's been able to join us this year because he brings a little bit more of that athletic fundamental base, right, than like a former offensive lineman would have, whereas my focus maybe was a little bit more big, strong, powerful. he's able to kind of help supplement and fill in those gaps maybe where my knowledge or my experience doesn't satisfy our needs. And so we've done a really good job. The kids have done a great job of progressing that way because of an addition like Coach Schooney. So.
And Coach Schooney, any thoughts?
Yeah, we've really done this as a team effort. We've split our groups up between skill and power. So he takes all the bigger guys so he can work on the size difference, where I can take my wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, and obviously flip side of the ball, those positions. And I can work on a little bit more range of motion. I can work on flexibility, hip mobility, making sure that they're all good there. But it's really been a team effort. And we realized, both of us, that we don't need to create bodybuilders. We need to create athletes to win football games on the Friday nights.
Coach Schooney, as we know, I think you are the team's running backs coach, if I'm correct.
Yep.
So what is it like to be coaching on Friday nights?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be an honor, right? I haven't done it yet, but I've just pictured myself in that moment so many times. I graduated in 2017, so that was my senior season, and that was one of the best years of my life. Okay, whether it was wins or losses, whether it was the outcome was unknown, it was still the best year of my life. And to be back here, to be a dog again, I mean, it's unreal.
And you're coaching with a veteran of the game, Coach Waits.
Yeah.
Coach Waits has been a quarterbacks coach for the longest of times now. So this is one for both of you guys. How does it feel for you guys to be coaching with him?
Oh, for me, I remember he was in the hallways, right? He was a teacher when I was here. And he just has this energy, right? This charisma around him. Like, when he says something, when he does something, people have that natural, like, kind of urge in them that they want to follow him, right? He's that natural born leader. And I didn't play basketball under him. I'm 5'6", not a very tall guy, so basketball wasn't my thing, right? So to be able to be on the same staff is kind of a dream come true.
Any additional thoughts?
Yeah, on my side, this will be my 8th season at Grove City, both teaching and coaching, and my 4th head coach in that time span. So I've kind of seen a lot of different styles and personalities, and I actually ran the scoreboard for Coach Waits in the last couple of seasons. He was the head basketball coach before stepping down there. So I genuinely appreciate his level of intensity for details, because that's the one thing, and it's just kind of my personality, but also the nature of my position as an offensive lineman, where you have to focus in on the details. So I love having a coach that is that focused on doing the little things the right way for everybody, right? And so that's been an important piece for me, just kind of gelling and meshing with Coach Waits. And him and I have been assistant coaches for a few years together also, so we're able to kind of jab one another back and forth and have some fun. And he responds to it in a good way, and I do as well. But that's kind of been nice, is to have a familiar face, right? But the program obviously is taking a step in a different direction, and we're running the offense that I used to run when I was a player back in the day. So that's been really fun to have Coach Waits. I'm able to kind of help out a little bit more that way, and facilitate the run game and things like that. And obviously blocking is my expertise. So it's been fun just to kind of have a little bit more involvement that way.
And Coach Howard, you have been under 4 different head coaches: Varney, Shaw, Waits, and whoever was before Varney. I can't keep track.
Coach Lanza.
Coach Lanza, that was me.
Coach Schooney's head coach.
Yep. So whenever that was, what did those 4 coaches kind of bring to your game?
So while it's been difficult to make those adjustments over the last 8 years to different personalities and different, the way that each coach runs a program is always slightly different. But one of the things that the previous coach, Coach Shaw, and I used to talk a lot about is take a little bit from everybody, right? Like, I don't necessarily have aspirations to be a head coach. I love doing what I do in the weight room and coaching offensive line, but having been through kind of the gambit of the head coaches so far, you get to kind of see a little bit of things that you love about what they do as a program leader, and things that you're not so fond of. And then, a guy like Coach Waits, I'm grateful that he kind of takes suggestions and is open to listening. because now I can kind of give my 2 cents. I don't necessarily think of myself as that old of a guy, but having been through, several different programs at this point just here at Grove City, I hope my expertise and my experience there kind of helps him out.
Absolutely. So I want to mention what the summer has been like. Like I already talked to you about, we talked about the weight room, but now let's shift gears a little bit. Let's go to the field. We've seen, as Coach Waits has already told me, this team has progressed. We're even looking at the Grove City Football Beat Dublin Scioto sign that is right across from us here. So what has been working on the field like with you guys as coaches and the players and the first game mentality, and even just let's focus on improving as Grove City High School?
Yeah, I can take that. So in addition to our weight program, what we've been doing is having that field time. So we were given we were able to buy some sleds, some med balls, some more resistance bands, things like that to help make us a better athletic team, okay? Because we needed those tools to help win Friday nights. And a part of the weight program, we've had field time already in the winter. We were adding half an hour, then it went to 45, then it went to an hour type work. And then between sled pulls, between banded resistance runs, and then it was throwing med balls, we were putting our guys through the test, putting their bodies through whatever we asked them, so then they are ready to react, they're ready to play at full go speed.
Coach Howard, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think in terms of kind of transitioning on the field, it's been nice to have that kind of built in. And Coach Waits was kind of, helpful enough to let us steal a little bit of like the football fundamental time to continue to build athleticism. Because one of the things that Coach Schoonover and I try to emphasize is what movements are you doing both in the weight room and in our training that translate to on the field movements, right? And so it's important to not just let all the weight room stuff and the training stuff drop off the face of the earth in the summertime. So we've been able to take kind of the lessons we've learned through finding how to use our bodies and adapt those to our on the field drill work. And it's been really fun, right? The coaches, everybody's got a good positive mentality. Everybody's really excited to kind of see where the program goes here. Numbers have been pretty solid in terms of 10 through 12 on the team, and the freshman team coming up, even though they don't practice with us, is like a record number size team. So I know there's still a lot of buzz and a lot of excitement, and now that we're on the field grinding every single day, we can kind of get that sense for what it's going to be like coming up.
Absolutely. So then those workouts, let's talk about the fans. I've talked with two different guys on that, Shaw and Waits. Both of them absolutely love the atmosphere at the fans. I know Coach Howard, you have been here for 8 years. You have been with many, many different fans. You even taught some of them.
Yep.
So what has those fans brought to you, and what are you looking forward to with these next group?
I would say in the last couple years, last year, especially off the top of my head, just being the most recent, the number of fans in our student section has been great, and it's been improving. And that's one thing, that we've talked about a lot, both, with the coaches that we have now and with previous coaching staffs, is like the success of the football program at the beginning of the school year really dictates the mood of the actual school building going forward. Like when you have success as a football program and you're winning some games, people are more happy and more positive and happy to be in school throughout the day, right? Like once the actual school year starts. So I love seeing more students getting involved, whether it be with the student section, or obviously we've added some numbers as well on the football team in general. So we are dependent on feeding off of that energy, right? And the one thing that obviously most people understand is, our band is top notch. And so I include them when it comes to the fans, because those guys are our loudest cheerers also, right? And they played as loud as humanly possible down there when the opposite team is maybe driving the football. We can rely on band to really get things going, and that helps feed the student section. The cheerleaders help feed each other, right? All that stuff is so important to a Friday night atmosphere, and I think ours is second to none.
Coach Scooney, anything to add?
Yeah, it is it's a group effort, right? We need everybody on the same page supporting Grove City football. If we want to do the things that we want to do, if we want to go as far as we want to go in the playoffs, it's going to take the whole village, right? So we need as many fans coming out and supporting the Dogs, and we need to win games to keep them coming, right? I have a lot of old Grove City guys that remember back in the day when Cross was running the scoreboard, and we were winning a whole bunch of games, and those guys are like, we need that team back, those teams back, the winning teams back. So we are all about just trying to win games, so then we keep that crowd coming, keep that energy high.
Absolutely. Guys, it was a great interview. Any last thoughts?
I'm super excited for the season to come up. We're, like Aiden mentioned, we're looking at the Beat Scioto clock. We're less than a month away, give or take a little bit here. And that's something that our guys continue to look forward to. We've got a couple scrimmages coming up in the beginning of August, but we're about 30 days out. So our guys are itching and scratching to try to compete against other teams. We're excited.
Coach Scooney?
Yeah, one thing that I just want to say is thank you, Coach Howard, for letting me be a part of this program. There's a lot of things that go into a weight training program, whether that's the side comments that you're making about nutrition and sleep at the end. This is one guy that we can trust with the 60, 70 guys that come in this program. He really cares about them, wants them to grow as people, as in the weight room. So thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Coach Howard, Coach Scooney, thank you guys very much for this interview. It was great to be out here. I know it's great to be talking with all the assistant coaches with our football team, and I hope to bring some more out before the start of the season. So thank you guys very much for coming out, and I hope to see you guys once again at the start of the season.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Sir.
Go Dogs!